Yes, we'll get back to you. And joining us right now is Democratic Congressman Adam Smith from Washington. He's also a ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee. So a perfect guest right after Sununu. So I'll let you go ahead and react to what he had to say.
Sure. Well, first of all, this was clearly an act of war. I mean, I love the semantic games, but we dropped a dozen massive bombs, several dozen Tomahawk missiles into the middle of Iranian cities. Now, we can talk about the wisdom of doing that, the legality of doing that. But if our position is, gee, Iran, this wasn't an act of war, please calm down. Everything's fine. I don't think that is an accurate reflection. Look, I mean, Donald Trump ran for president saying that he was going to use diplomacy to cut deals. He just committed an act of war against Iran. And I think, we all hope that Iran won't respond, but I think any realistic person has to think that that's just not the way this is going to go. Iran is going to respond. How are we going to deal with that? We did just start a war with Iran. I mean, you bomb a country like that. I mean, how would we react if a country had bombed us in the way that we just bombed Iran? Would we have come out and said, okay, we get it. You were just trying to make a point, not really a war. So number one, let's be realistic about what we're in. And number two, yes, assets are vulnerable. I was just in the region not long ago in Qatar and Bahrain. And as I can't remember if it was your reporting or somebody else's reporting, those countries are now pretty much on lockdown, expecting attacks from Iran. And they are not thrilled that a war has been escalated right in their neighborhood. So let's get back to sort of a realistic look about where we're at as a starting point. And I think that will better inform us on what's going to happen going forward and how we should respond to it.
And many people are questioning, what is that response? What does that look like next? Because everybody's holding their breath around the world right now of how Iran is going to react to this. But how do you stop them?
Yeah, well, you really don't. I mean, we have certainly force protection methods in the region. We have counter drone capability. We have missile defense. But, after the killing of Soleimani, Iran launched a whole bunch of missiles at Al Assad Air Base in Iraq. We got our troops out so they weren't hurt, but we weren't able to stop those missiles. They landed, I think, thinking that we could somehow block all Iranian attempts to hit us. And remember, Iran also has a ton of militia groups in Iraq, not directly controlled by Iran, that could come at us from a bunch of different angles. So, yeah, we'll do our best to provide force protection, but this is a very dangerous situation. And if the Trump administration's assumption is that they could do this to Iran, just cross their fingers and hope that Iran doesn't respond, that's a little scary. I think we need a better plan than that. And again, President Trump ran for office saying we've been dragged into too many wars. He was going to bring us peace. He was going to negotiate and use diplomacy.
Yep.
He was going to cut all of these deals. There's no deal. This is just dropping bombs on Iran and escalating a conflict that, without any doubt, this isn't it.
Well,
it isn't over.
Yeah, and obviously nobody knew this was coming, and some Republicans applauding this, saying that there's peace through strength. But now we have this massive event that happened, and many people will say, when you attack, the enemy gets a say. We just don't know what that say is going to be, and that's why so many people are worried. But again, we've got this Security Council meeting, an emergency meeting called at the UN in just a matter of hours. Hopefully, we'll get some word from that. Any last thoughts before we let you go?
Yeah, look, I mean, at this point, what we have to hope is we have to push for greater diplomacy. We have to push to get Iran to the table. But it's incredibly naive to think that we're going to do something like this to Iran. They're just going to roll over and start talking with us. I hope we have better plans for the inevitable response that Iran will bring, and that we can get this conflict to a close and get back to the negotiating table sooner rather than later. But it is an incredibly dangerous situation right now, especially for everybody in the Middle East.
Absolutely. And we continue to have reporting from around the globe here on News Nation. We appreciate you, Democratic Congressman Adam Smith, joining us from Washington. Thank you so much. Also coming up, police in major cities in the country now on high alert following Trump's military strike.